Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Matiullah Khatak, lecturer in English. I have been teaching English to various levels or grades ranging from secondary level up to graduate classes. Today, our mode of presentation is a different one and on a different topic, that is grammar. Dear students, our first lesson, the farewell sermon, has been covered successfully with all the questions given at the end in the exercise. Each lesson will be followed by 2 or 3 lectures from the grammar. So today our topic is what is a sentence, what are its parts, and what are its different kinds. So what is a sentence? The sentence is generally defined as a word or a group of words that expresses a thorough idea by giving a statement, order, or asking a question or exclaiming. So from the definition you can deduce that it is a word, it can be a word or it can be a group of words. It can make a statement, it can give an order, it can ask a question, or it can exclaim about something. So this much should be clear to you. If we go on talking about sentence, we can see a sentence is the largest unit of any language. So it means there are smaller units than a sentence in the form of words, phoneme. They are called the smallest units of any language, but sentence is called the largest unit of any language. In English, it usually begins with a capital letter and ends with a full stop or a question mark, an exclamation mark. So it begins this capital letter. This rule is very clear, so the rules are very clear. The first letter should be written in capital, it should end with a full stop, or it should end with a question mark or an exclamation mark. Examples of a sentence can be seen here. He is a good boy. It is a statement. Is he a good boy? A question. What a nice weather it is. It is an exclamation. As you have read in the previous classes, a sentence has usually 2 parts. The 2 parts are called the subject and the predicate. What is the subject? It is that part of the sentence which contains the doer of an action. Or we can say, we say something about it. If something is said about the subject, or it does something, we give it the name of subject. Secondly, predicate. What is predicate? Predicate contains information about the subject. It is that part which contains information about the subject. It begins from the main verb or the helping verb. In the examples given below, you can see the sun rises in the east. Hassan is an intelligent boy. This lecture is very informative. So the sun, this is the subject. Hassan is again the subject. This lecture is once again the subject. Why? Because rises in the east gives us information about the sun. Is an intelligent boy gives us information about Hassan. This lecture is very informative, gives us information about this lecture. So in these sentences, as you can see, they are called the subjects and predicates respectively. You need to know one thing more about a sentence which is an invisible subject. Ideally, a sentence requires at least one subject and one verb. Sometimes the subject of a sentence can be hidden, but the verb must be visible and present in the sentence. Verb is called the heart or kernel part of a sentence. Examples you can see: go, it is also a sentence. If somebody asks you, is go a sentence, you should know that it is a sentence, but the subject is invisible, which is you, which means you go, you do it, you help him, you work hard to pass the exam. These are called the subject, and go, do, help, work hard, they are called the predicate. So the subject in this case is invisible, so they are also sentences. So what conclusion can we get from this discussion? In other words, a complete sentence must have three characteristics. First, in written form, a sentence begins with a capital letter and ends with a period. Period means a full stop. Note of interrogation, i.e. a question mark or a note of exclamation, is placed at the end of the sentence. Second, it must express a complete thought, not fragmented. Fragmented means it should not be a small part, not a piece of a sentence. It should give a complete thought. Third, it must contain at least one subject. The subject may be hidden or visible, but it should be there, and one verb comprising an independent clause. An independent clause means it contains an independent subject and verb which express a complete idea or complete thought. Next, we come to the kinds of sentences. In the kinds of sentences, there is a difference between kinds of a sentence and types of a sentence. In the kinds of sentences of a sentence, we discuss the different kinds of sentences, which are declarative sentences, imperative sentences, optative and interrogative sentences, and exclamatory sentences. Under the heading of kind, we try to understand the different functions different sentences perform. Under the type of a sentence, we discuss sentences with respect to their structures. Structurally, here we discuss sentences functionally. What are their different functions, for which different occasions such sentences are used. Under the heading of types, we discuss the structures of sentences, which are four. And there are four types of sentences, but there are four kinds of sentences. So the first kind of sentence is called declarative sentence, or we can say assertive sentence. It simply expresses an opinion, feeling, or makes a statement or describes things. In other words, we can say it declares something. This declaration may be positive or negative. So positive sentences are also called affirmative sentences, and negative sentences, both of them come under the heading of declarative and assertive sentences. This types of sentence ends with a period. Period here means a full stop. And the examples you can see: you haven't completed your assignment. Negative statement. So negative is not an individual kind of sentence. It comes under the heading of declarative or assertive sentences. You haven't completed your assignment, it is a negative. I want to be a good cricketer, statement, positive. Affirmative sentence. I am very happy today, feeling. Affirmative sentence. Once again, you are good at English, opinion. So these are the examples of declarative, assertive sentences, or affirmative sentences, or negative sentences. Next, you can see imperative sentence. Imperative sentence usually include orders, requests, or advice. We use an imperative sentence to make a request or to give a command or advice. Imperative sentences usually end with the period, a full stop, but under certain circumstances it can end with the note of exclamation as well, i.e. exclamation mark. Here you can see the examples. Please sit down. So this is a request. One thing you should remember, that imperative sentences are usually subjectless. Subjectless means their subject is usually invisible, as we talked in the previous slide, that their subject is not visible. So here please can be used at the end of the sentence, sit down after sit down please, or we can say please sit down. So sit, work, don't, they are verbs and their subjects are not visible. Please sit down, it is a request. Work hard to pass the exam, it is an advice. Don't make a noise, it is an order. I need you to sit down right now. This sentence you can see is a different one from the others, but it is also an imperative sentence, as we have talked, and that under circumstances we can use an exclamation mark at the end of imperative sentences. The third kind of sentences of a sentence is called interrogative sentence. An interrogative sentence asks a question. Interrogative sentences must end with a note of interrogation, i.e. question mark. It may begin with a question word. Question word means when, where, how, whom, who, or a helping verb, is, or, am, was, were, will. These are called helping verbs. In the examples you can see, where are you going to submit your assignment? Question begins with when. Do you know him? Question begins with do. Will you come tomorrow? Once again a question which begins with will. The fourth type of a sentence is called exclamatory sentence. An exclamatory sentence expresses overflow of emotions. Overflow of emotions means strong emotions, very ardent emotions. These emotions can be of happiness, wonder, sorrow, anger, etc. These feelings, one thing you need to note here, these feelings or emotions are usually very sudden and strong, expressed with a loud voice. In the examples you can see, what a pleasant day it was. So this sentence is usually spoken with a loud voice, with an outburst of emotions. What a pleasant day it was. Hurrah, we have won the World Cup. Alas, his father has passed away. So these sentences contain exclamation mark at the end of each sentence or after a single word like hurrah, wow, alas, and oh, etc. The last kind of a sentence is called optative sentence. This kind of a sentence is used to express a hope, wish, ardent desire, prayer, or a curse. An exclamation mark is also placed at the end of this kind of sentence. Here you can see in the examples, I wish I were a prince. May God bless you. Example number 3, may the present Prime Minister of Pakistan live long. Optative sentences, what is the difference between if an exclamation mark is used at the end of an optative sentence and an exclamatory sentence? So how are we going to differentiate between these two sentences? The difference is quite clear. Optative sentences are not spoken with that outburst of emotions, with those strong emotions or feelings, whereas exclamatory sentences are spoken with a sudden strong jerk of emotions, which is quite clear while expressing them. With respect to structure, they are also different from optative sentences. Optative sentences only receive the exclamation mark at the end, and they are not spoken with that powerful expression, whereas exclamatory sentences may receive the exclamation mark after a single word or at the end of a sentence, and the structure of the sentence is also different. An optative sentence versus an exclamatory sentence. An optative sentence is different from an exclamatory sentence with respect to its way of expression. The way of expression is different. The structure is different, and the use of the special mark means the exclamation mark, which is only used at the end, and the sentence is not spoken with the sudden outburst of feelings or emotions as we learnt it in the case of an exclamatory sentence. In examples you can see, what a charming scenery it is. What a, so a is missing here. What a charming scenery it is. This is an exclamatory sentence which is spoken with very strong voice. Strong emotions may be seen in this expression. What charming scenery it is. The other sentence, which is an optative one, I wish I were the president of the USA. So this presentation comes to an end. If you have any question, do ask me.